What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video, back with another build video. So like I said, I don't know if you guys saw the 5.9, but if not, go check that out. But yeah, I'm just starting to recap all the builds that I made, and I'm just going to show you why I believe that these are some really solid builds. I would say some of the better builds in the game, and I'm just going to break down all the builds. What I would change, you know, I made these first few builds before the game in like season 1, before I fully understood the game and before they changed a lot of the stuff. So I'm just going through what's good and what's bad about these builds, and what you can and can't change, or should or shouldn't change, and why I put everything everywhere. So it's the big man, and the thing I like about this, we're gonna start with the height. He's a footer and 248 weight, 7'4" wingspan. So good thing I like about this is I always make my first bigs able to dribble to a certain extent, and now with the people are starting to dribble with 6'10s and all these 7'3s, people are dribbling with the taller builds, and I like how I always do that. But if you're not a dribbler, you can obviously bring that down. So I think this big is very versatile. As you can see, if you're looking at it from a whole, you can run this big kind of in ones. I was playing ones with him. I got some clips, and just ISO and just dribble wise. You can run them in twos, as a popper, as a roller. You can run them however you want. Just corner sitter, you can really run them however you want. You can run them in threes, same way, and you can run them in fives because he can fill his role with doing pretty much everything. So the most important thing, put the offensive rebound 94, and then I cap breakered it to get it to 99. So you're gonna snag a lot of offensive boards. Defensive, I will say this is the problem that I did with the build, is I made his defensive too low. So in my opinion, I would move that up to like an 80 if you can, if you're making a new big. And I would say have your offense. I prefer offensive higher than defensive always, and I would go for the 99. If you're a big, I think that's really important, is having that 99, because all bigs are going for it. So and people always miss shots this year. Your team's like guaranteed to miss. If you're running twos, if you're running threes, like you're guaranteed to miss. Like no team's going 100%. So it's very rare. I'm gonna say it's not. So I would say offensive is more important, because the more chances you get with the ball, the higher chance you got winning. So it's the same with defense. The more you limit their opportunities, but so that's why I would say move your defensive at least to a 90, because I do see the differences. Everybody's going offensive, so with the low defensive is kind of just counterproductive, I would say. So move that up to a 90 if you can. I max out my speed with my bigs because I hate moving slow like dirt, bro. Like I actually hate it. Agility, I left it at a 49. I would say you can leave it at a 49. I don't think it's important. Strength is a little low at an 80, but I'm putting my cap breakers here, so it's going to be an 85. And I max +1 brick wall a lot. That's what I've been doing. So I set better screens, a little bit of harder screens, so I can get my guard open a little bit better. So I will say, if you do something with this build, I would say strength and defensive rebound should be the two things that you try to make better with this build. Vert at an 80. I would say that's bare minimum. 80 to an 85 should be that range. Honestly, 80 to 90 should be that range that you do with bigs, because that does help you get boards and blocks. Your vert does tie into it. Don't let people tell you it doesn't, because it definitely does. But I would say you don't need it at a 99. I would say 80 minimum, 90 max. 85 is probably that sweet spot. So that's the rebounding and the physicals. Block, I have it at a 93. That gives me high flying denier on gold. What is it? Paint patroller. Yeah, paint patroller on gold. High flying denier goes silver because my speed, I'm pretty sure. No, that's gold too. Yeah, so that gives me paint patroller and high flying denier both on gold. You can max +1 one of those if you want to. Steal and perimeter, you can only get it so high as a big, and you really don't need it that high, especially as a footer. And I would say this build was made more for fives. So one thing is, you're not gonna get a high perimeter. You're gonna get shot over a lot. Like with a low perimeter, you can't contest shots this year, and the shot contest system's like a little clunky this year. So I will say you're gonna be cooked on the perimeter. So there's really nothing you can do. 80 interior is also kind of low. So I would say if you're trying to make a more defensive and rebounding centered big, I would obviously go higher interior, higher defensive, and higher strength. So with the low interior, I didn't mean to do that. With the low interior, yeah, I only get bronze post lockdown. So I would say that is obviously an issue if you're running into a lot of post players this year. So move that up. I would try to get that on gold if you can, but I like to make mine as well rounded as possible. And I'm more offensive centered, as you guys can tell. So especially with my first few builds, I like to just be offensive and creative in that category. So that's why you can see my ball handle at a 70. I can dribble and get some pretty good sigs. If I move my speed with ball at a 58, do those two max out? Yeah, those two max out. So you can see I max out like my ball handle and speed with ball on most of my builds that I can when I'm just trying to make a build just to enjoy the game, because that's my favorite thing to do is dribble. So when you're making builds, like, make a build that you're actually gonna have fun with too. Like, I don't understand why people make builds just to cheese with and all that. Like, if you're trying to force winning games like that, it's cool. Everything has its purpose. Like, I'm not saying don't make a comp build or don't make your builds catered to do certain things, but people are making builds just to dex with. Like, that's just beyond me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I try to make your builds to have fun. But pass sack at an 82, that gave me, I want to say, you can pass the ball. I would say people go for the gold break starter. I don't think you get it with this build. Yeah, you only get silver. I think gold is 86, I want to say. If you can get it up there, go for it. But like I said, this is more of an all-around build. So 82 is like perfectly fine, especially for big. You can throw the break starters after the board. You can dime, you can throw lobs, you can do what you got to do. So pass hack 82. 3-pointer 77. Well, since your middy's at 85, your 3-pointer at a 77 is perfectly fine. You can honestly go lower and go higher with your middy. That's going to get you some better badges. We'll try to get that 89 middy, and then you can probably, I might just use my cap breakers there. You can't get it here. Never mind. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at an 85 because I shoot perfectly fine with this, as good as the game allows. So I usually, with most of my builds, I go higher middy than higher 3 because they tie in, because your badges matter more. So that's why I went with both of those. And post control 87 is before I realized that the cheese was just post moves and all that stuff. So I would say the 87, if you want to just post up and just do that, go ahead. But once like I said before, this is more for fives. So 87, I'm not going to be posting up as main offense in fives. So what I'm going to do is 87. If I get the switch on a smaller build, I can get the post moves. That's why I go 87. I feel like it's a solid spot. You get some pretty good badges. I'm not going to run down all of them. 85 standing, 80 driving. You can do both dunks perfectly fine. Always have driving dunk. Even if you're big, I see some bigs just not put up driving dunk. But you roll to the rim a lot. You set pick and rolls, so please put up your driving dunk. Layup goes up with it. 84 close shot. I don't really throw up post hooks and stuff like that, but you want your close shot up to a good point for when you pump fake under the rim, and then you go up, that ties into your close shot. So close shot is pretty important. Just to get into the badges that I got, I go rebound chaser legend, and you can see all the gold badges here, most of them being defensive besides these post ones. Usually I max +1 set shot or brick wall for my max +1. And yeah, you can pretty much do either one. If you're getting posted up a lot and it's bad, then go post lockdown. And then here I usually do posterizer because it ties into like just close. When somebody's like close to you, you can dunk the ball. So go posterizer on your tier 2. And yeah, like none of these matter right now because we're kind of deep into the game. Animations, start off with my jumper. I don't know which one I'm using. I'm using my 4th one. Dwight Powell, base, Mike Muscala. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I never heard. Mike Muscala. Release 1, MPJ release 2. And I'm right before push, right on the top of it. 3/4 release speed, 54% Mike Muscala. So that's my jumper. Dunk style, I'm rocking pretty much all the basics. I'm rocking 2-hand tomahawk, and what is that, Bigman back scratchers. I feel like those are some pretty good dunks. You don't really get blocked a lot, but you do come out of some animations, but that was also before the patch. Quick drops off 1, I'm rocking those. I feel like it's a really solid animation with a big man. You get a really good quick drop. Always put on baseline reverses off 1, so you can do some reverses off the baseline. Athletic one-handers is another like kind of glitchy. It kind of like moves you pretty fast if you're a taller build. So I have that on, and the Bigman tomahawks. And I just put on flashy off one for city dunks, because when I'm running ones, it's also pretty cheesy when you're a footer too. So put on all those standing dunks that you can get. None of these are bad animations, so please put all these on. And I don't put on none of these. Oops, I got all of them that I can. So that's my dunks. And what are we rocking? Paulo go-to. This dribble pull-up Jokic's is mad glitchy. If you're running ones and you do the fade towards your dominant hand, towards your shooting hand, you can just run out of it and rebound. So they're going to be putting a contest animation and you're going to be able to rebound. So it's really glitchy. Rock normal hop jumper. That helps you with your dribble moves. That helps you speed up. If you guys want a footer or 6'10" taller build dribble tutorial, I can drop that too. Like not even tall guards, just like centers. A center dribble tutorial, I will drop that. Post fade, AD, hook. I don't really use none of these. Hop shot, I do go AD. This is one I do use. I do use post fade. I don't know why I said that. AD. And I rock Goga's motion style. Pass style, I rock Trey with this. I feel like it's the best one you can get with this passing rating. I'm getting brain locked. Dribble style, rock normal. That's the best one you can get. Bonus is buns, and basic is buns too. Rock normal. You can get really glitchy with that. I like Zion 6 size up better than the rest. I like all of these. Pro escape moves, pro combo, pro cross, and pro behind the back. I feel like these two are really important as well. So I would say dribble style, crossover, and behind the back, go with those. And step back pro and triple threat Kobe. Those are what you should rock. And yeah, that's pretty much this build. I don't think there's really too much I would change with him. I really like the build. I really like how he can do everything at not even bare minimum. He can do everything at a high rate if you know how to be effective. But the stuff that I will change, if you're trying to become a more specific big, this is more so an all-around big, 3-level scoring board hunter. So it can score, it gets blocks, it can still get stops in the paint. But if you're trying to go all in on whatever role and game mode you're trying to play, cater to that and take down like stuff like dribbling or whatever else you want to take down. But I will say the things that I do notice with this build that you can probably put up: defensive rebound, interior defense, and strength. So if you want to lower something else like standing dunk and driving dunk or three-pointer a little bit lower, go ahead and put those 3 up, because those are what you're gonna really see lacking the most in this build now that I'm 4 seasons in the game. So like I said, that's build number 2. Next up should be my lock build. My first lock, I think, was my 6'4" lock, I want to say. Yeah, I made my 6'4" lock. I don't really use them a lot, but this is going to be the next build in the series. So if you guys want to see that one, stay tuned for it. It's coming real soon. I'm probably about to just record it now, to be honest. And I'll catch y'all then.